Hello, my name is Dr. Carmela Nanton, CEO of Carmel Connections Incorporated, leadership strategist, executive coach, author, speaker, and podcast host. Today, our topic for exploration and consideration are power practices for personal leadership. So when others define you, it is from the limits of their perception of who you can and should be. Most of the time that sets you in a space which may be way too small for you. I had to learn to recognize when limits were placed on me. We all have trouble sometimes recognizing when limits are placed on us, right? At least the first time around. Have you ever had limits placed on you? When people limited me, these limits were significant in that they shifted the trajectory of my leadership. So I led my first team to victory as a young teenager against an adult who had all the best players on his team. And since then, in every industry, whether it was healthcare, education, business, church, or the community, and in every position that I have held, even in male-dominated arenas, my trajectory within a couple of years, sometimes couple of months, was only vertical. And this was until I landed in a place whose mission, it seemed, was a determination to hold me back. And everything that was positively perceived in other arenas was now suddenly problematic. And so I became frustrated, stressed out, and on the way to a burnout under the pressure of being forced into a box that was not fit for my size. And so here's where the power practices, I'm talking about personal power practices, helped me define my leadership style, gave me confidence and empowered my voice, expanded my networks, and inspired the unique leadership brilliance already hardwired in me. Let's start first with leadership style. On leadership style, it was about understanding the needs of the team that I managed. Were they the kind of people that I had to tell what to do? Could I just delegate the assignment to them and not have to worry about it until they brought it back completed? Could I delegate it but still have to support and check with them? Maybe even coach them along the way to completing it. This meant that I had to develop my communication skills. I had to know my team members in depth and know which of these styles were appropriate to use at that given time with that given person. I had to figure out what worked for me, what worked for them, and what didn't. So when it came to voice, the stress and pressure and the almost burnout temporarily forced me into silence. What personal power practices did for me was that it helped me to recognize that the confidence that was there before had not gone. Now, we all understand that voice is the most essential way of communication and of influencing people to action. Think of a baby and what a simple cry can do to you. It makes us jump and run, try to figure out what is going on. Your voice carries power. And so we have to be assertive. Why is that important? If only 4% of women are in CEO and board positions, it means that 96% of companies need women's voices at the decision-making table. And, by the way, it enhances their bottom line. That is statistically proven. Another way that you can reclaim your power and your voice is that you claim your ideas. If you're in a meeting and you have just dropped a wonderful idea and there is this pregnant pause right after you have spoken up in the meeting, use that time to get prepared to defend your idea and then claim it when it shows up again, because it will. And if you have to, enlist your colleagues to help amplify your voice, or simply stated, to be committed to give you credit because it is due to you and it acknowledges your creative brilliance. It is time that we come out of silence as women. Your team, your business, the world, your company needs to hear what you have to say. One other key area for personal power practices and what it helped me to do was in the area of networks. I believe that strategic networks are critical for building your leadership capital. Everything you need, including your net worth, your promotions, the advancement you are seeking, the opportunities that you're looking for, they're held in these strategic connections. They can fall into 4 major groups. First, I would talk about your team members. I don't like to use the word subordinates because I'm the kind of person that does leadership more as team and partnership. But those are the individuals who work for you or with you to realize your vision. Then you have the leader in that company. So if you're working in a company, you report to a leader. That's your strategic connection. If you own the company or you're an entrepreneur, your board is your network and strategic connections that you have. They're the ones that you report to. They know you best. They know how you function. They know your company best, and they can advocate for you. Then there are those wonderful people called mentors and sponsors. They are supporters who are not in competition with you. They want the best for you at the end of the day. And some have said they love you too much to see you fail. At the end of the day, they become your boosters. They become the people who trumpet out and spread out what you are capable of. And they are powerful strategic connections that you can develop. And then horizontally, professional colleagues. These are individuals that include, for example, the people you work with, professional groups that you might be a part of. They could be accountability groups, community groups, and global cross-cultural groups. Some of these may be a competition, of course, but particularly in the area of accountability groups, they become critical support for you. And one of the things the power practices are critical for is because it helps you to focus on leveraging them for your access and for your advancement. So I have some thought questions for you, some reflection questions. Are you feeling the pressure of leadership? Do you happen to be frustrated because your team is dysfunctional and they're infighting and sabotaging each other? Are you consumed to the point of burnout, losing sleep, and maybe even relationships over it all? I invite you to text "in the lead," 3 words all together, to 66866 for a free gift and to get on our mailing list. Again, that is text "in the lead" to 66866 so that you can get on our mailing list and find any updates that we are providing. Social media, follow me at Dr. Carmela Nanton. I want to leave you with this thought. Power practices are personal disciplines that every leader must have in their toolbox. They helped me regain my edge. It is the ability to stop and reflect on yourself, on your business, on your leadership and what's happening with it, and your vision for not only the business, but for yourself. When was the last time you took a moment, a day, even a weekend, to stop and reflect? Personal power practices push leaders to be self-aware, to be reflective, to be authentic, and to actually getting to an understanding of what their capacity is, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and if they are practiced regularly, then they become a huge value to you. They are vital for effective leadership. Why do I say that? Because they help you recognize what is happening in the environment. When you are to assert your voice, when you are to make or delegate that decision, so you don't have to do it all by yourself, and it informs you of how you need to react and shift based on the situation and the person that you're dealing with. In turn, this frees you up to accept that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. The brilliance is already in you. It empowers you to display your most brilliant and effective leadership qualities. So, as Thoreau says, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you imagine. So I invite you to and push you to express your voice. Know and recognize and embrace your unique leadership style. Leading yourself positions you to lead others who will follow as you go vertical to your best leadership life.